All right, welcome in another episode of Dropkick Basement, bringing you the best in pro wrestling history. My name is Mike Madden on my end of things. My tag team partner Tom Schultz on the other end. Tom, how are we doing this evening?
Back in the saddle, Mike. The two of us were a bit under the weather last week, so we're kicking out. Didn't tap.
That's true.
Ready to roll and move past Mania season and look forward to a hot summer for pro wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we had an extra week to kind of separate ourselves, not just because we were both ill with separate illnesses, but also because there was such and I felt, and I think you'll probably agree with me, maybe because the WWE has so much of a hyper focus with all of these different streaming partners and all these different digital partners for podcasting and for videos, and then people that lump on all the criticism and then have their own version of it. I felt like I felt the week of WrestleMania was ESPN went overboard in their coverage. And then the fallout from it was like everybody reacting to what had happened and what they had seen during Mania weekend and the few days after it. So it made sense for us to sort of like, all right, let's give it an extra week. Normally we don't have that extra week built in, but let's give it one extra week just so that the dust can settle, so that we can feel like we're not just riding the tide of everybody, chiming in on Mania or just reminiscing about, the better Manias or the worst Manias, whatever it may be. So yeah, it was a good week to sort of reset our chambers and make sure that that Dropkick Basement was still going to be providing you guys with the best in pro wrestling history. And before we even do that, like, what are your thoughts on WrestleMania itself?
I would say that it was one of the more divisive shows in a long time because of how negatively night one was looked upon and how positively night two was looked upon.
Right. Yeah.
I think that this is what we're going to get from moving forward. Things will never go back to the way they were.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. I saw more ads than wrestling, so that's one thing. But yeah, listen, I didn't watch any TV leading up to it, so I was aware of the storylines through social media and whatnot. Nothing had me excited, so I went into it kind of the least excited I've ever been for a WrestleMania.
Sure.
And kind of echo the sentiments that everyone else did. Night one had a good match, and night two was a solid show. Overall, neither show felt like WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think
that's pretty much it.
I think I'll agree with you. It was one decent match on the first night. And then by the time they got to the second night, it seemed like they sort of like reset themselves and they were like, all right, well, we can't do the same formula. Even though the matches were still relatively short leading up to the main event. I think they certainly tried to get more of a crowd reaction. The young guys on night two got over like crazy.
Yeah.
Obafemi's a star. Trick Williams, I think he looked the most ready to be a WrestleMania main event guy. Holy shit. Did they pour a lot of resources into certain guys' entrances, certain guys' ring gear, every elaborate angle you could get. And that guy looked like he understood the assignment. And it wasn't just like, here's a mishmash of like 5 ideas that I have.
No. And CVS receipt for a coat was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It was a lot of quality, and I also thought Javon Evans continues to be a standout in that mid card, as a mid card baby face, as a risk taker, as a guy who certainly, for having a first WrestleMania and for being sort of like, I mean, he's tall, he's kind of like rail thin. They have a few guys that are under contract that are like that, but I think he's got something that, and certainly like, I think he gets reactions from the crowd, that certainly have him pointed in a direction that, he's going to be a very important person, wherever they slot him on the card. I think he's going to be a very important person in the coming year or 2 years, however long you want to continue to build a guy like that. And I also thought, once I finally got around to watching the full thing, I thought that the Roman Reigns CM Punk main event, that held up.
Yes.
I did see some of the build to that, and I was like, we're really like focusing on these guys being old. It's realistic to tell both of those guys that they're old, and in years past, there would be no problem with somebody saying like, these guys are too old to main event WrestleMania. Find me two guys that are in their at least their 30s. Mid-30s or younger, early 30s, like, and get me those guys and get me them prepared. But
they don't have that.
They don't have that, and their focus is always on the people that are deemed in that main event superstar level. So for two guys to kind of have that, again, some of the criticisms on the build were also matched with compliments about how well they performed on the mic. And you know both of these guys are going to bring it on the mic. Maybe the scripts weren't all that great, but the outcome was certainly pretty great. And then they put on a main event that was worthy of being a main event. And it wasn't filled with chicanery. It was just filled with like a one-on-one match like you would classically see at a WrestleMania. So my hat's off to those guys. And yes, I agree that night 2 was a rousing success in comparison to night 1.
And I don't know how much of how bad the first night was made the second night look that much better.
I think that's
like, I wouldn't put that down as like an all-time WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Probably we probably
by
won't.
any means.
No.
For like if you're just looking at night 2, I wouldn't put that down. But again, like I understand the 2-night thing. You're making God knows how much more money than you would being one night. But if you boiled that 2 nights down to 9
good
longer
matches.
One longer show that, trim the fat.
Yeah.
It then may be looked at great.
Could
but,
be. Yeah.
But you had 5 stinkers on night 1 and it's like, all right, well, you just put on like a show that was worse than the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And people paid $12,000 to sit in front row for it.
Yeah, how do we feel about that? And I think and this will be the last thing that we'll just sort of touch on about it. I think WWE has a WWE problem.
Oh yeah.
And they are just swimming in their own bathwater. They are they've drank their own Kool-Aid to a point where they think they're untouchable. And I think that night 1 was a slap in the face to them to wake them up a little bit. And now and I think you noticed that if you did, catch a little bit of the Raw after Mania, that Monday after Mania felt like they had a lot of like NXT call-up guys. They had a lot of like sort of new directions where they're resetting, and it wasn't necessarily, here's just a rerun of everything we did on both nights of WrestleMania. And then, we'll see what they actually do with some of these new debuting stars and see if they're actually positioned the right way, or if it's going to be, here's one good month of introing you, and then we have no idea where to slot you in because all we care about is the 6 main event people and the 6 main event slots at the top of the card. So,
and then there'll be the next wave of releases next post WrestleMania.
So again, and God bless the fans. They made the fans of pro wrestling, but more importantly, the fans of the WWE, maybe some of the stupidest people. They fall for it every single fucking time. And they're like, oh, how does this company release people? Like, they're making so much money. They're so popular. Like, I mean, it's the crazy part is they use some of these people in the fucking build to WrestleMania. And then they didn't have them on the show because they had to have celebrities on the show, or they had to have the returning fucking Bella twins, or whatever this, like, you know, whatever it was. Like, so yeah, Aleister Black was going to get released because obviously they don't see anything that important in this guy that he needs to be figured into a WrestleMania card. The entire Wyatt 6 gets released. And I love how the fans are like, well, they didn't do enough with the Wyatt 6. And it's like, maybe the Wyatt 6 just didn't have enough good ideas on how to capitalize on that hotshot debut they had almost 2 years ago. You got to kind of think is that, like, if the creative was so into, like, building these as, like, a stable of characters, tribute characters, there's a lore that's built into them. How do you not, like, make that into something? And they just kept pushing it lower and lower down the card until it's like, what a surprise. Like, they're not on the WrestleMania card. This doesn't spell good for them. And the whole lot of them get released. The Motor City Machine Guns probably have to feel like the biggest idiots in North American wrestling.
What a waste of time.
Because you could have easily walked into the locker room, even if you're not going to be the team that's holding a tag team belt in AEW, you could be part of that locker room and have amazing matches with FTR or the Bucks or the Rascals now. Like, you know, you would factor into the mix there immediately if that was the case a year ago. Now people have to second guess because there's a little more miles on the two of them. And they made it a point to say, we need to go to WWF to do something about our career to really make it full circle. My prediction is full circle really means you're going to be back in TNA by the summer.
Most likely.
And that's where you're going to toil.
And then you're going to be doing a shitty program with whoever the NXT
with the Hardys
tag team champions
are. You're right. Yeah, right. Or some low level crossover.
Yeah, it's just like, ugh.
So I think that the fan base in WWE is the other thing, that they think that the company has their best interest in mind and they're never going to release these people, but everything is dollars and cents. So if they make a lot of money, in order for them to afford to make a lot of money next year and bring in more people that have mainstream appeal or that mainstream fans care about, you need to say, I can't have the Motor City Machine Guns in my locker room anymore. I can't have Aleister Black and his wife in my locker room anymore. You know, I have a ton of women talent that are at the top of the card, but all I give a shit about is what Rhea Ripley's doing. So I got to get rid of somebody who's in a main storyline in an undercard position. Rinse, repeat, stupid. So with that being said, and those are my rants. Those are my post-WrestleMania rants.
You got to get them off your chest.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is we gave everybody else a week to talk about this shit.
Yeah.
And now we're just playing catch up so that what we're thinking about. So
we'll give everyone 5 minutes, and now it's on to serious business.
Serious business, and we're back into our rookie cards phase. And we're into the 90s again. We're circling back through the 90s. And we've got 2 rookie cards that we built based off of the great information that's on Ainsworth Sports. Once again, ainsworthsports.com has their rankings of all-time wrestlers and the beautiful algorithms that they have to put that together. Also, the thing that we focus on is the rookie years of a pro wrestler debuts, so that we can build our cards. And let's see what we've got for the 90s. Tom, take it away with your 90s card.
All right. So first, let's go through. So we changed the rules a little bit for your this round.
Yes.
Typically, we just do the top 20. Mm-hmm. This time around, no limit. You could go. There's a about 50 people on each list for the top rookies. So we were unlimited in that. What was it? We couldn't go over 12 matches, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Typically, you don't want to do like if you can look at a list of 50 people, put them into 12 matches. Don't put them into 25 matches.
Yes, exactly. All right. So before we get into what we did with all these guys, let's go over the list of candidates who were eligible.
Yes.
Yes. I went from 1 to 30.
What year do you have, by the way?
Oh, again, yes, you're right. I had 1998.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. A pivotal year in the wrestling business. And we start off with the number 1 ranked rookie of 1998, AJ Styles.
Okay. Yeah.
Not much to say there.
Right.
Number 2, Kurt Angle. So we're building a pretty good roster so far.
All right. So 98.
1998.
It's always crazy to me to think about Kurt Angle, and not to stop you in your tracks right away.
No.
He wins the Olympic gold medal in the summer of 96.
Yep.
He does that appearance in ECW in October of 96 and gets spooked out.
Yep.
And WWF is like, we'll gladly, host you for a training seminar. And he trained with Dory Jr., right?
Yeah, the Funkin' Dojo.
And he was there presumably like less than a year or about a year before he makes a television debut.
Yeah, his WWF like proper debut, like he did house shows prior. Was Survivor Series 99.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's between like at most a year and a half.
Yeah, well, crazy to think about a guy that moved that quickly.
And within a year of that debut was the world champion.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Kurt Angle.
All right. So number 3, Bobby Roode.
Okay.
Number 4, Sin Cara, also known as Mystico. Also known as, what is this here? Haristico. And all three of them are on this.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. All 3 of them are on this list for some reason. The same person's on this list 3 times.
It's a lot of love for him, man.
3 different names. So number 5, I can't do the first name, so him best as Marufuji.
Okay. Yes.
Number 6 is Takeshi Morishima of former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Number 7 is Mystico, so we kind of ixnay that one.
Yeah, cancel out.
Number 8, Eric Young.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting that he started that early.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
Yeah.
That seemed early. Number 9, Frankie Kazarian.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that would make sense in the timeline.
Number 10 is Low-Ki.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 11, they have Cassius Ono, better known as Chris Hero.
Yeah.
12, TJP. TJ Perkins.
This is a wild set.
It's a wild, dude, but it's going to get even more wild.
Yeah.
13, Chuck Palumbo.
Okay.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, it was just right. It's just a like a murderer's row of like all these like great indie talents, like 3 in a row, boom, 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 and then it's all right. Chuck Palumbo also started this year. Power plant guy.
Number 14, the Amazing Red,
who was probably 11 years old when he's
Number 15, Shane McMahon.
Okay, all right.
Number 16, Vince
McMahon. All right, okay. All right, these 2 fucking bumbling idiots. Okay.
Number 17, Vinny Valentino, who I was not sure who that was. And upon further research, it turned out to be former Ring of Honor and OVW talent, Brent Albright.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Debuted under the name Vinny Valentino.
Huh. All right. Well, that's a hell of a sneak in because that's a good hand, man.
That's a really good hand. Number 18, Chi-Chi, who I was not familiar with, turned out to be WCW's Kwee-Wee.
Yeah.
At number 19, we had Nux, who I also did not know who that was, and it turned out to be Mike Knox.
Mike Knox,
of the WWECW fame.
Right, and Aces and Eights.
Aces and Eights. At number 20, we had Lance Cade.
Shawn Michaels trainee, rest in peace, right?
Yeah. Yes, rest in peace.
Yeah.
21, Chase Stevens of the TNA fame from the Naturals.
The Naturals, right.
The early TNA team.
Yeah.
22 was Caristico, who again is Mystico, who is also Sin Cara.
Yeah.
23, Rene Dupree.
Who was very, very young when he started. He was one of the... So, interesting side note, I don't know if you picked this up on your research on him, but he was part of that. There was a short-lived Calgary-based promotion that... I don't know if they had an internet TV show or just a local TV show. It was called Mat Rats.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
And this is... Everybody's like 15, 16 years old. And they're wrestling in this, even younger.
It was like Jack Evans and Teddy Hart and all those guys, right?
And TJ, Davey Boy Smith Jr. And one of the Rene Dupree happened to be one of the other main guys.
Oh wow!
That was like in that little like training group at the time, which is fascinating to think of all those people and all the styles that they had, and then Rene Dupree, who was mostly known for prancing.
Yes.
And walk into the ring with a French poodle.
All right. So after Rene Dupree, we have number 24, Takashi Uano, who Japanese talent from 01 DDT.
Okay.
Had some New Japan time. 25, Sylvain Grenier.
The other La Resistance.
The other La Resistance. Number 26, Extreme Tiger of AAA and Noah, made a few appearances for TNA.
Okay.
He also went under Ultimate Tiger.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Number 27, Mike Sanders.
Oh, above average Mike Sanders.
Average
one of the
Mike
worst
Sanders.
nicknames that you could ever get bestowed is above average Mike Sanders.
Former WCW commissioner.
That's his claim to fame. He was the commissioner of a dying company. Man.
And one of the founding members of Sports Entertainment Extreme.
Oh, sure he was. Yeah, Vince Russo's bullshit. All right.
Number 28, Tony Mamaluke.
Really? Okay. So that's an interesting one.
Again, another one that within a year is on
he's
ECW
on ECW TV. Yeah, and he's and he's not just like, hey, here's a job guy on ECW TV. Like he is part of the FBI, and he gets he gets signed to WCW at the end of '99 as well, and had time there. So, wow.
Number 29, Cliff Compton.
Cliffy.
Cliff.
All right, I got a soft spot for Cliff. I always thought he was a good worker, and I thought he was above average.
Definitely above average.
On the mic. I thought he had a good promo.
And we'll cap it at number 30, Makoto Hayashi.
Okay.
Who,
all right.
Noah fame, not very familiar with him.
Okay, all right.
But these are the top 30. I guess it would be top 28 since Mystico's on there 3 times.
Yeah, yes.
So we're only counting one of those.
Okay, all right.
So going into this, I was like, what are we doing with this cast of characters? Because we've got a diverse. We've got guys from AAA, Noah. We've got indie darlings.
Yeah.
We've got WWE Hall of Famers. We have Vince and Shane. Where are we going with
You have an Olympic freaking gold medalist.
And then I think I took some drugs or something.
Okay.
Because I was like, you know what I want to do with this group of characters? I want to pay tribute to my favorite pay-per-view of the year 1998. So this show is going to be ECW Living Dangerously 1998 from the Asbury Park Convention Center.
All right. I like that. 98. What's the Living Dangerously?
This is when This is when Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow go through the ring.
Okay, so I was there. I was trying to remember if that was the one that I was in attendance for, where everybody got Al Snow styrofoam heads.
Yes.
And then we threw them in the ring at some point.
Yes.
Okay. All right. But yeah, we're in Asbury Park. We're in the convention center. The convention hall.
We're in the convention center.
All right. I like this.
All right.
I like this.
And I'm not really sure how I came up with any of this, but I went a little wacky with how this show plays out. So the pay-per-view is going to open. Joey Styles is in the ring. Typical ECW pay-per-view open. He's going over, what you're going to see tonight. He's interrupted by No Chance in Hell.
Oh, no. Click.
Out comes Vince McMahon. And Shane McMahon.
Okay. All right.
And they're going to introduce us to the team WWF that is going to take over ECW.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're doing an invasion angle.
We're doing an invasion angle.
All right. Okay.
So Vince brings out, first, let me introduce you to the team that is going to take your ECW tag team titles. La Resistance.
Okay. All right.
Out comes Sylvain Grenier
and
Rene Dupree.
And Rene Dupree. Right. All right.
Out comes the mouthpiece for Team WWF, Mike Sanders.
All right. Above average.
And out comes the man who is tonight in Asbury Park, New Jersey, going to defeat your ECW World Heavyweight Champion. Out comes Bobby Roode.
Wow, Bobby Roode. Wow, of the guys, that's an interesting pick.
The guys.
All right, okay.
And that is because
does Vince secretly own like TNA too in this universe too?
Well, so I mean, we are living in a completely parallel universe where there are no laws.
Obviously.
So they're cutting their promos, and then you get the static, and it goes through a backstage promo with your current ECW World Heavyweight Champion Kurt Angle.
Okay, all right.
Kurt Angle is running down how he's going to represent ECW. He's taking down Bobby Roode, and he's leaving Asbury Park with the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
All right, I like this. Defend the honor.
Defend the honor. So we have a series of 3 ECW versus WWF matches throughout the night, along with a few other regular ECW promotion matches.
Okay.
And we're going to open the show with one of those regular ECW matches, and it's going to be a 3-way dance between the Amazing Red, Mystico, and TJ Perkins.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Hot start to the show. Bit of an homage to the Tajiri Super Crazy Nunzio matches
Little
that we
Guidos.
had.
Yeah.
So we're getting Mystico going over in this because he's Mystico.
Yeah, he's Mystico,
but this is just going to be a barn burner.
Yeah.
They're going to go 10 minutes. They're going to fly all over the place. They're going to be jumping off of everything in the convention center. And we're off to a hot start after the diabolical Team WWF came to shut down ECW.
All right. I like it. It's a good start. We're going in the right direction so far with a hot opener.
All right. Next, it's a 6-man tag match. The international team of Makoto Hashi, Takashi Owono, and Extreme Tiger, and they are taking on the ECW stable of the FBI, Chuck Palumbo, Tony Mamaluke, and Lance Cade.
Okay, all right. Palumbo was an FBI guy in WWE. Mamaluke was an FBI guy everywhere, and then I'm sure you'll explain that Lance Cade.
And we have Lance Cade playing the the Tracy Smothers role in the FBI.
Yeah, yeah.
The Southern boy that's full Italian.
All right, okay.
This is more of a goofy haha. And we're getting the FBI going over on this one.
Okay, all right. Yeah, but I can still see it as like, and again, the ECW way of thinking, whenever they brought in international talent, was to say these, and I'm sure Joey would have his notes and tell you how important each guy is to their home promotions and what they bring to the table. And I'm sure everybody gets a spot in because Mama Luke is the type of guy who's going to be able to
he's taking bumps for everybody.
Bump around, circle around, let everybody hit spots. But then you're right. It is is certainly heels rule the day.
All right.
I like that.
So next is going to be the first of the WWF versus ECW matches, and it's the WWF Open Challenge, where Mike Sanders challenges any ECW competition to a match.
Okay.
The man that answers Mike Sanders' open challenge is Kwee-Wee.
Yeah.
Kwee-Wee comes out in his flamboyance.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Takes a quick squash.
Okay.
So Mike Sanders gets on the mic after. That's the best you got for me.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right.
That's the best you got for me. We're counting this as a Team WWF win, but if there's anyone else back there.
Yeah, I hardly broke a sweat with this guy. Yeah.
That wants a piece of Mike Sanders. Come on out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have Cliff Compton is coming out playing like a New Jack kind of role.
Okay.
I tried to base everything in an ECW-like reality.
Of course, yeah.
So he's coming out, and he's coming out with a trash can full of weapons, and we're just getting a brawl. And he's going to get the heat back for Team ECW by beating up Mike Sanders, bloodies him, sends him to the back. And it's not a match, but we get,
crowd's juice for something like this.
A nice brawl around the crowd.
Good.
And we get the heat back on the ECW side for the home team.
All right. That's a make good. You do the squash, which is a bit of a surprise because you're like, oh, well, what does this guy have to, and you think that there's going to be this sort of like, hey, it's a surprise roll up win for the flamboyant character. But he's quickly disposed and you're ready for what the real surprise is, and that real surprise being a Cliff Compton New Jack turn, which is good. I like that.
All right. So match number 4 is a tag team match. This is back to an ECW style match. This is I don't know if the comparison is completely there, but this is going to be like my Pit Bulls like team of ECW of Mike Knox and Brent Albright.
Okay. All right.
And they're going to be taking on Chase Stevens and Eric Young, which is like Joey Matthews, Christian York kind of team.
Okay. Little flying, a little bit more of a fast pace.
Little flying. Yeah. We got the bruisers and we got the fast pace. We got the high flying.
Okay.
It's going to be a back and forth, but the big boys are going to get the win, and that's going to put them in line for an ECW tag team title shot down the road.
Okay. Good. Nice establishing match, but certainly a good way for the middle of the card to showcase some of that talent.
And that's going to lead into the home stretch, which is going to be quite a few very fun matches. The next is an international attraction match, and it's going to be Chris Hero taking on Marufuji.
Ooh, all right.
So here we're going for I would liken this to a Masato Tanaka, Mike Awesome-esque, where we're getting an international talent brought in against an established ECW star. of Chris Hero. Marufuji's being brought in, and we're just going to have a barn burner. They're going to get all the ECW chants. They're going to get all the holy shit chants. It's going to be a banger.
All right.
Chris Hero's going to get the win. As he is ascending the ranks here in ECW.
Right.
But the two of them are going to put on a classic. And I'm pretty sure we've seen this match in Ring of Honor at some point.
I'm trying to think of like if when Marufuji was, well, obviously when he was part of either Noah or Dragon Gate, early part of his career, he probably had a few excursions.
Oh yeah, I definitely remember seeing him. I can't remember if he wrestled Hero here or if it happened in like Noah.
Yeah,
but for sure, it for sure happened. All right, so next it's going to be the second of the ECW team ECW versus Team WWF matches. It's going to be the ECW World Tag Team title match. Team WWF's La Resistance will be taking on your current ECW Tag Team Champions, AJ Styles and Frankie Kazarian.
Oh, all right. Good.
I think that's a nice pairing. If I'm not putting AJ in the main event for the world title, I think that him and Frankie would make a great team. Two guys that have a very similar style. High flying, all that stuff. And then you're going against kind of the guys that, will bring you down to the mat, slower paced. So we have the back and forth. We have the styles clash. No pun intended. And they're going to retain their tag team titles against La Resistance.
Okay, good. So and that's, and I'm sure that leaves it open up if the La Resistance guys were to like stick around for, another set of TV tapes, or if you're extending the angle in any way, even though they're taking the loss, they're probably still made to look good enough that they would be a possible comeback.
Yeah. And you can't have a clean sweep either way.
Oh, for sure.
So you got to go back and forth. Next, this is going to be an ECW television title match, and this is like my harken back to Bam Bam versus Taz at this show in the convention center. Your current ECW television champion, Low Key, will be taking on Takeshi Morishima.
Ooh, okay.
So you got your big boy against your smaller guy.
Chase around, and again, Loki's not relenting when it comes to like throwing stiff strikes and doing all of his like submissions, and that's a big base for him to work with as well. So in case he does want to leave his feet, Morishima's right there for him. So if there were two guys on this card that I would say you could plug into that like formula of match, those are the two guys that are definitely going to fit that mold. You have, like you said, Loki is an ass kicker, and you have Morishima who can take it all, but can dish it back out. Takeshi Morishima is going to win the ECW television title on this occasion. Good.
So we have a new ECW television champion.
Good title change in the in like kind of the coming out of the tag team title where you're in your hey, we're ramping towards our main event. You have a television title change is a very good way to kind of extend a little bit of a surprise element in your card.
And now for the main event.
Yep.
The ECW World Heavyweight Champion, Kurt Angle, will be taking on Bobby Roode, accompanied to the ring by Vince and Shane McMahon. So we're gonna start out with a clean match, and wouldn't you know it, the ref takes a bump.
Oh no! Well, I can see where we're going with this one, but
we get a run in by Team WWF.
Okay, right, yeah.
We get a run in by Team ECW, which is Cliff Compton, AJ Styles, Frankie Kazarian, and Chris Hero. We're going back and forth. We're brawling all over the place. There's a face-off in the ring after all the dust is settled.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt and Bobby they're both doubled down. There was a big German belly-to-belly suplex off the top rope as everyone's brawling on outside the ring. They're down. Vince and Shane decide to step in, and they're trying to drag Bobby Roode over to Kurt Angle.
Top and
put him on top. In comes AJ Styles and Chris Hero to make the stop.
I like that. Okay, good.
AJ hits Shane. Boom. Shane's down. He throws him he shit cans him. Goes outside the ring. Chris Hero shakes Vince McMahon's hand.
Oh.
Hero's welcome on Kurt Angle.
Oh, no. Oh.
Chris Hero has turned his back on Team ECW and has joined the WWF.
Oh, you scumbag. Wow.
Bobby Roode gets the 1, 2, 3. Bobby Roode is your new ECW champion as Asbury Park Convention Hall, along with Mike Madden.
Yeah.
Shower the McMahons and Team WWF with garbage.
Nothing but garbage. It's just a sea of trash that's getting thrown in and around and all over the place. Wow.
And we go off the air.
Well, listen. I had a feeling that the second that you said you were going to use Vince and Shane, that I wasn't going to, as an ECW fan, I had a feeling this was gonna take a sour turn.
It had to.
And I'm listen, I'm impressed with the use overall, and I'll give you a ton of credit for the use overall of the talent that you had there to use. You easily could have said, well, and a lot of it's very crazy enough. A lot of it is very like TNA heavy.
Yeah,
you certainly could have been like, well, I'm just going to take, almost do like a TNA invasion and work it in that sense. But I think using the more or less like the realness of an ECW pay-per-view setting kind of pivots it back, and it's still like your WWE guys are fish out of water, kind of the outside invaders, but also in a sense of there's an unpredictability to them, right? The owner of that company and his son are coming in to sort of like watch over this invasion, and it is like it's their tailor-made guys. I could imagine like, the storyline of these are my young talents that we're bringing over here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Like all, the weeks of television that go into it. And then to have that sort of like surprise turn, and a guy like Hero, basically like, who could work any style, who's been through like, a pretty great match earlier on in the show that the crowd was really into. And you're thinking like, hey, this is going to be the ECW. He's next in line for, a big title match. And now he's ending up in bed with the devil. So yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow. And I'm sure that'll be something that I think with the way that Paul and Paul Heyman and you could book it, I think all of the fallout and the follow up with that would lead to a lot of weeks and months of compelling television. So, kudos to you for using that eclectic lineup in the way that you had them. Appreciate it. Very good. Right. Very good.
Where are we going, Mike? What year are we going to now?
So I am working with 1983. I do not have the star-studded lineup that you have.
I did not take a peek at your lineup because I wanted to be surprised. So.
This might be, and when you look at it on paper, and I'll read the guys in a minute, but when you look at it on paper, these might be the type of guys that like Tom would be like, oh, give me a crack at using some of these workers. I can do good things with him. So, so the year's 1983. Here's my
1993.
Sorry. Boy, I really wanted to use, I really want to do 1983. But at 1993, here's who I have to work with. My number one guy is Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
Masato Tanaka.
Let's go.
Former ECW heavyweight champion, amongst other things. The Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels.
Banger.
Mabel, a.k.a. Viscera.
Okay. Not so much.
New Jack.
Oh yeah.
Which again, like when I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, well, New Jack debuted in that year. He's in Smoky Mountain by 94. Like, he's another guy that like took to wrestling fast, got himself established in a tag team, and as this sort of like insane, insane racial character, however you want to like to sort of couch him. But he took to it very quickly. Not to say that he was a great technical wrestler ever, but
no. But even with Mabel, like I thought he made his WWF debut in 1993.
He might have, because he was in Memphis and some of the Georgia Independents like really quickly, and I think he might have dovetailed with New Jack in the Georgia Independents as they were establishing themselves. But I think he was in Memphis USWA. Him and Mo were the Harlem Knights.
Yeah, I mean they're on the 1994 WrestleMania,
and they were I think they were in the company by the end of 93. But that's also that's a Vince McMahon big man fetish.
Well, of course, yeah. But I mean, even so, within 2 years, the guy is
King
of the Ring.
Yeah, for better or worse.
Going for the world title. So.
Yeah. These 90s guys had a clearer path. So yeah, you've got Mabel, Kazushi Sakuraba.
Okay, Sakuraba.
Who had worked he's more of a shoot style hybrid. Actually did compete in UFWI, which was more of a shoot promotion in Japan, but also evolved into Noah and worked in Noah when that started up in the early 2000s. Douglas Williams, who was in
the English wrestler,
right? He was in the British Invasion and in TNA. It took him 10 years to get to the States, really.
It did a lot of indie stuff, like a lot of like Ring of Honor shots. And,
yes.
I think like PWG too.
Yes, yeah, and again, like just a guy that at this point, beginning of his career, was just like he's in the he's kind of in the shadow of Regal when Regal.
I'm kind of surprised
comes to the U.S.
this early.
Yeah,
because he didn't come to the States. For
early
it
took him like almost 10 years.
Probably at least 10 years
to get to the States, but a great technical wrestler.
Of course,
and was part of a good tag team. So he's on here, and actually, again, he's a top 10 guy on their list. El Zorro, AAA, kind of a middleweight guy for AAA.
Okay.
The doing the excuse me. But a little bit of the history on him, looking him up a little bit. He had a few decent mid-card feuds in AAA when WWF was working with AAA and started the Super Astros show in the 90s that was on Univision, I believe. He was part of the group that was brought in to be showcased on that show, and I think it lasted about 2 weeks. Moving on, we have Kid Cash.
Nice.
Who might still be working somewhere.
Definitely.
In independent wrestling. So
definitely. Somewhere in Tennessee, he's killing it.
Oh, for sure. Favorite at every convention and independent show, Headbanger Mosh.
Hell yeah.
Started in this year, which again is another thing that surprised me because I knew that him and Thrasher were doing, like Northeast Independence very fast, like right around this time frame. So they must have both graduated from their wrestling schools, got put together. I think they were both under masks for a while as like the Spiders or the Black Hearts or something like that. before they went to Smoky Mountain and had a few gimmicks there. But Headbanger Mosh is in this group.
Let's go.
We have a Timon Honda.
Who the fuck is that?
Who was a Japanese wrestler, actually was an amateur would-be hopeful Olympian.
Oh, all right.
Before joining New Japan, before joining All Japan and then Noah, after sort of toiling around in kind of that like semi-pro status for a while.
Yeah.
You will love this. Also making my card is Homicide.
Hell yeah, dude.
And again, another guy you just think of like, broke out in the very end of the 90s, but more associated
99.
with the early 2000s, early Ring of Honor, CZW, Northeast Independence, Jersey All Pro. Absolutely. Like this is where he comes from, starting his career out. WCW's own Sergeant Craig the Pitbull Pittman.
Oh my God. If I don't get Craig the Pitbull Pittman versus New Jack, I'm going to be furious.
But it's a tale of a guy that WCW, he had the, he had the submission, the corporal drill sergeant shtick because he was really out of the military. And he was a trainee of theirs, and he was on television within a year and a half, endlessly wrestling Alex Wright week after week on WCW Worldwide and Saturday Night.
Between him and the other military guy, I can't remember his name.
Ranger Ross.
No, but Buddy something.
Oh, Buddy. Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker.
There you go.
Oh.
Between them, I just couldn't understand how you devoted that much TV time to these guys.
Well, Buddy Lee Parker was part of the patrolman, the highway patrolman, so he was more of an angry cop.
But eventually, he turned into like a military guy. Well, all right, let's not get off.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
Listen, Buddy Lee Parker's for another day. Bill Goldberg's trainer, by the way. Johnny Swinger. Is part of this list, which is another guy that's like still does shots for TNA. Yeah. Is probably a producer or an agent for them, working backstage. But ECW guy, floated around for a long time as a card filler on the indie scene. The next guy is Daisuke Ikeda. Who had worked for Battle Arts, All Japan, Noah.
Okay.
Another sort of like undersized shooter style. Bad Boy Hito.
Okay.
If you remember him from many a 6-man tag in FMW, Big Japan, Wing. Sort of your deathmatch faction filler outer. As is the next man. Tetsuri Kuroda, predominantly in FMW, some of those offshoot promotions that they started after Onita left. He was, kind of in and out and part of those. Gran Naniwa, who was in Michinoku Pro.
Okay.
And was supposed to be on the first ECW pay-per-view as part of that 6-man tag that got all of those guys from and I believe he was on the babyface side of the match against, what were they? It was the Michinoku Pro stable. Fuck, they were like a DX type. And they had it's that famous multi-man match that they had. In Japan in Michinoku Pro. A year before they brought it to, or 6 months before they brought it to a version of it to ECW. But Gran Naniwa was a mass wrestler and kind of, again, a high flyer, mid-size high flyer guy that was part of that inner circle. Corporal Punishment is also part of the group. IWA Mid-South, Insane Clown Posse Hanger-On, Midwest indie guy, deathmatch guy,
Corporal Robinson?
Am I thinking of? Oh, wait a second. Hold on. No, this is Corporal Punishment. Is Corporal Punishment a different guy than Corporal Robinson?
I don't know. He may have gone under a different name.
Because I think I'm getting my guys mixed up, and therefore we may be in a tough spot where I think I'm booking somebody and I'm not booking them.
Well, whoever Corporal Punishment is, I'm assuming they're going to be in a deathmatch scenario.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy actually, he was more of a undercard East Coast, like a mid-Atlantic East Coast indie wrestler. Oh, swing and a miss. Trained by the Rottens, by the way. So yes, he's got a.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing. Then.
Yeah.
If you're trained by the Rottens, you know exactly
right.
What's
You're not.
going on.
You're not lying in an arm bar all that much.
No, you know how to cut your bicep with a razor blade.
All right. And then the last guy, I think he went by Christopher Wright in the beginning of his career, also known as C.W. Anderson.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that'll fill out the talent that's on this card.
Pretty ECW heavy.
Very ECW heavy. Very, again, very early 2000s independent heavy. For the purposes of what I want to do with this type of show, this is an independent show, by the way.
Okay.
Because I don't see any
promotion.
I don't see any. So I would say it lies in the realm of like an IWA Mid-South.
Oh, perfect.
So we're going to have this in that barn. Because again, like for better or worse, like that era of wrestling, like say what you will about like Ring of Honor had, these nice facilities where, you could have technical matches and then there would be, there's a blood feud that's on the card. Or CZW leaned more into the blood and gore, but they had the ECW arena to work in and so on and so forth. IWA Mid-South, they still had their technical matches like baked into that card full of madness. So that's what I'm going for, and I'm going for this. I
love it.
Basically being like, we're going to name this the show for scouts only, and we're going to basically we're going to load this with talent scouts that are scouting for WCW, for WWE, for ECW, for TNA.
Nice.
So we're just going to have this almost like this is an industry showcase, an international showcase. For a lot of these guys, no belts on the line, no TV storylines. Just take your best shot with what you got going on. But
I like it.
I'm taking a risk with my first match.
Oh boy.
Okay. It's going to have a 30-minute time limit. Most pinfalls in the 30 minutes. Classic scramble style. But it's a hardcore scramble.
Whoa.
So we've got Corporal Punishment. We've got Tetsuri Kuroda, Bad Boy Hito, Homicide, Masato Tanaka, and New Jack.
God damn.
It's almost like I have bad intentions, but I want to get all the building damage done and out of the way at the beginning of the show. So we're going to let these guys go wild for the first 30 minutes of this show. Again, you've got some of the hardest hitters, the most, it's why I liked having Tanaka with Hito and Kuroda in this, because they are going to bring that FMW style that was really like pushing in popularity in that mid 90s range. So they're going to bring a lot of that to this. We're going to have a few like deathmatch spots where we've got spider webs. We're going to have a couple like maybe we'll have a piranha bin at ringside at some place.
Oh yeah.
And really like every one of these guys like just pound each other, trade pinfalls, trade submissions, blood everywhere, just like get the crowd whipped into a frenzy with, the most dazzling display of carnage that you can get out of this roster of gentlemen. And I'm going to have Masato Tanaka go over at the end because he's still the most sound wrestler, in my opinion, out of that group.
Yes.
You're going to have some team-ups with Homicide and New Jack. I think they would get along very well. Obviously, the Japanese contingent has their elements. Corporal Robinson would be really fun in this, but since this is Corporal Punishment,
we're just going to pretend it's Corporal Robinson.
He's getting his ass kicked though. Like he's going to take the most amount of finishers. A Diamond Dust off the top. New Jack will do the drive-by, Gringo Killer, all the greatest hits, and he takes a lot of shit into a lot of painful apparatus. But at the end of the 30 minutes, Masato Tanaka will get his hand raised as the man with the most pinfalls and the most submissions in that time.
Few notes on this.
Okay.
Incredible IWA Mid-South opener.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this exact match wasn't booked by Ian Rotten in like 2000. Two, throwing Homicide in the mix, who later was known. I mean, he was a brawler, but was went more to the technical side. His early days in Jersey All Pro Wrestling, he was like almost a deathmatch guy.
Yeah.
Borderline. Yeah. And three, because we're in IWA Mid-South, I need someone to light a body part on fire that then the article of clothing winds up in the crowd.
Sure.
And almost burns the barn down.
Yeah, and the scuzzy 15-year-old contingent that that just wants to boo all the baby faces. Yes, they're getting they're gonna have to run for their lives a little bit. And also the little small children in the front row are gonna be horrified by this.
And then after this match, Ian Rotten is gonna come out and cut a 25-minute promo about how you can buy t-shirts at the booth.
Yes. And he invented this type of wrestling, and that's why he wanted to start it first.
Yep.
So, yes. So once that tornado of chaos is over, we settle in. We have a good cruiserweight showcase. Kid Cash versus Grand Naniwa. I think Kid Cash is perfect for this scenario. I think he's a guy that, like, when you get to the 2000s, and he had like a good start to his career in ECW, and he was really like he was their spot guy. Like, he would do that big dive and he would take out half the roster as they're standing in the in the alleyway, like just basically hugging each other for 10 minutes while he does like a giant plancha on them. But he took that and he worked everywhere at TNA, International, eventually WWE. And I think if you harness that element to him and you don't necessarily make him just have the match to lead to that one spot. I always thought he was a very capable worker.
For sure.
And he definitely could put on a great match with somebody like Grand Naniwa, who is, again, he's just sort of like a springboard aerialist. So I think this would be a good matchup of styles. You definitely get the crowd like continue to keep that momentum, because obviously you threw everything in the kitchen sink in the first match and people would be like gasping for air, but you need to like capitalize on it and keep them up and keep them high. So I think this match coming in as the second match on the card certainly gets your high flyers over, and in this case Kid Cash, that crowd would love a Kid Cash.
Love it.
Without a doubt. That crowd would love a Kid Cash. So he's going to get the Duke in this contest.
Good follow-up, and also keeps, like you said, keeps you on your feet because it's a completely different style. That's all in your face and fast-paced, and
absolutely,
absolutely, you're gonna get everyone going, and it tickles a bit of everybody's fancies where you started out blood and guts, and now you're flying off the barn roof.
Oh yeah. Our next match is I'm going to take the ropes down for this.
Oh.
And we're going to almost have a blood sport style match.
Oh, shit.
submissions only, kind of a hybrid MMA style, amateur style. But yeah, definitely that blood sport type of a match. Kazushi Sakuraba taking on Sergeant Craig the Pitbull Pittman. For better or worse, Craig Pittman could actually, like, he was a stump of charisma. But I remember watching him on those WCW, especially the syndicated shows, and being impressed by, he had like a code of arms, I think he called his arm bar. It was basically, it's a Fujiwara arm bar. And I think like him versus somebody like Sakuraba with an MMA background, with a shoot style element to him, I would only expect it to go about 10 minutes, and you get a tap out, and Sakuraba would be the guy that I would put over in this case.
I would hope so.
But I think like it would go a long way to showing that, hey, Craig Pittman wasn't just like this drill instructor character that you saw on WCW TV. He's actually really capable of holding his own in a real combat setting. And I think the crowd would certainly appreciate him putting up the best fight he possibly could. But he's going to go down to a far superior shoot style pro wrestler. And Sakuraba gets the tap out victory in this one.
I think that is a good use of Craig Pittman because I don't know where else you would fit him.
He's a bit tough. Like his presence doesn't lend a lot to. I mean, I think like my other thought was to put him against somebody like Doug Williams, but then you're doing the same thing. You're saying like, all right, well, this is designed to be a technical affair with the possibility of some chicanery, and he sneaks out a win. I think in this case, it comes down to, this is the type of I would imagine like this is the type of thing where he's like, I'm going on the indies because I had my run on WCW TV and they didn't treat me right. Although I got an action figure, they rang up all those action figures under Hulk Hogan's name and he got all the money for it. So he would just be like, hey, I'm just Craig Pittman here, and I'm going to show you how much of an actual like grappler I can be. And I think a match with Sakuraba goes a long way in establishing him. So that's my psychology behind it.
It's smart. I like it.
Another international versus U.S. showcase here. We've got a tag team match. Timon Honda and Daisuke Ikeda taking on Johnny Swinger and C.W. Anderson.
Okay.
You're bringing in your ECW boys. I don't know if they were a team in ECW or they were in a faction together in ECW. Maybe.
They were definitely. It was definitely Johnny Swinger, Simon Diamond, and C.W. Anderson was definitely something.
Yeah, I can imagine them standing together would be like, oh yeah, it's obvious they know each other. So they get the international tandem that's coming out of Noah. I mean, I would say the most capable guy, because he did do stints in Japan in the 2000s. I think C.W. Anderson is the captain of this match. I think he's the guy that's going to be able to communicate and hold everything together. I'm not expecting this to be all that great because, I think C.W. Anderson's probably the best worker out of the group. I'm not that familiar with the Japanese contingent's work. I did see like, they've held, these guys have held tag team titles, and it was obvious that they were tag team wrestlers predominantly for either All Japan or for Noah or for wherever. But I'm going to give my Americans the win here. Probably handful of trunks. Johnny Swinger gets the Duke, and him and C.W. Anderson continue to rile up the crowd a little bit and maybe set up a future match against Homicide and New Jack for our next card when we come back come back to the barn and totally try to tear it down. We're gonna take an intermission at this point so everybody can reset for our final run of matches. We come out of the intermission, and this is the WWE nostalgia guys showcase. They were on the poster because they've been on TV in WWF in the last 5 years, and they're both former tag team champions. So you're gonna have Headbanger Mosh taking on King Mabel.
Whoa.
It's a squash.
Yeah.
It's a squash for Mabel. We're just going to make him look strong. Mosh bounces off of him a whole bunch of times. Mabel gets to do a couple of his dangerous belly-to-belly suplexes and probably that gorgeous leg drop of his to take a victory. And there's not much you can do for this other than to just say, hey, these were the guys that were on the poster. So enjoy their time here this month. You probably don't have to see him ever again. But Mabel gets a Duke on that one.
That is a very local indie match.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it were around here and not booked by Ian Rotten, if it were booked by Dapper Johnny Falco, that would be your main event of the evening.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It would be a lumberjack match, and everybody else would have to come out and try to figure out a way to get Mabel back in the ring when they make him tumble. So, because again, that's a Dapper Johnny staple, is he would put Bundy in a lumberjack match, and it's like, that's the stupidest guy having a lumberjack match. You put Bunny in a cage. You don't put Bunny in a lumberjack because then you have to have not only all of the baby faces try to go and pick him up, then you got to get the heels to try to kind of pick him up because he's a fat motherfucker. But no, he would get the squash. And both guys, like, neither guy is really heel or face. Like, they're both just sort of like,
they'll do your gimmicks.
They just took a whole bunch of 8x10s and signed a bunch of autographs before they came out at intermission, so they're happy for the payout. Match 6, your semifinal. Douglas Williams taking on El Zorro.
Okay. Oh, that's Clash of Styles.
A little Clash of Styles, a little high flyer versus a ground and pound submission. Both guys pretty similar in build and makeup. Douglas Williams might have a couple more pounds and inches in height on Zorro, but I think they could probably scratch out a pretty good match between the two of them. A little back and forth. Douglas Williams probably playing a little bit more of the heel, I would think, because, sneaky British. But I do see El Zorro getting the victory here and getting the crowd excited for some of his high-flying maneuvers and kind of making this a almost like a sleeper match on the card. I think Kid Cash and Naniwa could certainly have a sleeper, but I think something like this could be a pretty good palate cleanser before the main event.
Absolutely, and I like the book. I like the pairing, and it fits into the setting that you're putting it in, because that was a staple of IWA Mid-South shows, especially in the early 2000s, of like, let's put a deathmatch guy against a technical wrestler, or let's put a high flyer against a strong style guy. Like, they always were just like, let's put polar opposites together and see what happens.
Right, exactly.
And sometimes you get Samoa Joe versus Necro Butcher, and it's awesome. And sometimes you get like really bad matchups. Absolutely.
But
that one sounds awesome.
Right. And in my thought, both of these guys, although never achieving like main event status in their companies, I think they would also bring a bit of notoriety from
100%.
Either the British Indies, or you could say like from his just hot off the TNA TV, and Zorro coming out of AAA for an excursion and having a weekend to do this indie show, high profile indie show. And it is high profile because you're going to have two guys in your main event that were just as close to the top or at the top for brief flashes, kind of ran parallel in their career once they actually got going. Jeff Hardy taking on Christopher Daniels.
Ooh.
And I think you can certainly see where in my sort of log line of this or my time frame of this, you've got Jeff Hardy between stints in WWE and TNA, working the indies, and Christopher Daniels being the indie darling that still makes his appearances for TNA and Ring of Honor. But this is basically like your indie dream match. 100% like crowd's so into Jeff Hardy and all this stuff, and Daniels can heel it up just as good as anybody else can heel it up, and work a style that he can certainly go with Jeff Hardy, move for move and fly and be there and catch him and be a base and everything you need Daniels to do, but also maybe slow this down and really get the crowd invested in it and make it, when you're building to the finish, certainly, put Jeff in peril where he looks like, well, all hope is lost, and then he has the big rally, and then the swantons and twists of fates and all the other stuff, and Jeff Hardy obviously gets the win, but not without Daniels getting his heat back, and maybe Daniels has, somebody from the back, come out to help him out. Maybe if I'm looking around this card, maybe he's formed an alliance with Doug Williams as a TNA guy or Kid Cash, and then Masato Tanaka comes out and we have Tanaka save the day, and it's Tanaka and Hardy doing a pose off with the crowd, and you're setting up your match for next month where these guys are going to do a tag match or a 6-man tag with a surprise partner, whatever it may be. So that's the way that I see it shaking out.
Fantastic main event
for a nice. I'm thinking to myself, they probably did work together in TNA, but they didn't have like a feud necessarily.
No, not at all. And for sure, somewhere on the Carolina Indies that was booked at
probably
as a main event.
Oh yeah,
in 2006.
Yeah,
that no one besides the people that were there know about.
But not again, you're not looking at a sustained long term. Like, hey, they were like, it's not like Hero and Punk or Punk and Cabana, like, in that building. Like, I think you could certainly see this as, if it's played right, they're probably having this feud around the country in your various indies while Jeff is getting ready to go to his next spot, or Daniels is getting ready to go back over to TNA full time. So
in that time frame, that makes sense 100%. Overall, love the card. Mm-hmm. There's guys that I'm not too familiar with. Some of the Japanese guys I'm not 100% familiar with.
Me neither.
But putting them in the spots that you put them in, I love it.
Yeah.
And just being able to think about IWA Mid-South for the first time in a long time is fun.
I figured you'd like that, especially, your Homicide gets to show off what he can do. Masato Tanaka in that building.
Masato Tanaka. I don't remember where the barn actually was located, but the only IWA Mid-South venue or the only place that I can recall them running shows was Midlothian, Illinois. Okay. So we're just gonna say that's where the show took place.
Yeah. Or didn't they have that place in Kentucky?
They did. I just don't know exactly where it was.
Yeah.
Midlothian, Illinois always is burned into my brain for some reason.
And this is this is the type of thing that you would get on like video cassette, like 2
Smart
weeks,
Mark video.
2 weeks after, and you'd be like, look at this fucking card. Like, I read about this on the internet. I need to see some of these matches. Mabel 100%. And Mosh. Woo.
100%. You would get this on a fucking a VHS that it's still in the tape box that they bought it in. It just has a printed label on it.
Yeah.
Down and dirty. Fantastic. Love it.
Yeah. Again, for me, not really like my strong suit as far as like the roster and the talent, but you make do with what you got. And
oddball list.
Yeah,
I'll say that. Yeah. Like all over the place.
But that always helps.
From Jeff Hardy to New Jack to Mabel.
That's Bad Boy Hito also on the shelf.
Yeah, Bad Boy Hito. I mean, we're all over the place.
Yeah.
Representing I mean, but you're representing WWF, you're representing WCW, ECW, FMW, TNA. I mean, we're all over the map here.
It's got it's very
eclectic.
It's very eclectic, and it's right. It's such a like the poster would look great.
Oh my god,
the poster would look awesome. Yeah. It's Mabel right in the middle. Just him and Craig Pittman on the poster, like
that's it. That's the poster. WWF star Mabel, WCW star Craig the Pitbull Pittman,
Sergeant Pittman.
Also,
right, like in little
Jeff Hardy, Christopher Daniels, Masato Tanaka, New Jack Homicide,
and others
card subject to change,
and other stars. Yes, card subject to change. Yeah. All right. Well, both. I think both shows were. We were. Kind of looking at them side by side. There's a disparagence of talent, but I think with just the creativity that we use this and booking them in particular companies makes a world of difference. You're taking guys that are like at like a little bit out of their comfort zones. And you're saying like, well, we want Bobby Roode to be an important guy tied to WWE. Like, imagine if that were to happen. And then putting him on an ECW pay-per-view to be an invader to challenge for their world belt. It's held by Kurt Angle. And it's, that's a lot of fun stuff. And those are a lot of fun elements to think about and play around with. How just kind of get in that booker's head of like how they would put that show together. And something like this where it's like, well, it doesn't have to be on TV, but this makes for an interesting show because, you've got, certain elements that might play nice together. Who knows?
I think we know our future calling.
All right.
And we just have to find the money mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to have a sick independent promotion.
Yeah. I mean, some of these guys probably would not, it's going to take a lot to get New Jack back, but
I mean, okay. Well,
but still, like, I think you could imagine scraping together a halfway decent card with the talent that we got. As usual, a whole lot of fun. We love these rookie cards. We'll certainly be exploring. We've got to go back to the 2000s again. Whenever we get back in a few weeks, months to doing the rookie cards, you'll hear about some of the selections we have for the 2000s. So that works. And I guess that wraps us up for the evening. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Tom Schultz, this is Mike Madden. We hope you guys have a great night, and we will see you at the matches.